Imagine stealing a car just to steal Cheetos. It's giving broke.
Hey, are you like poor?
It's giving I never graduated high school. It's giving fatherless behavior. How about get a job challenge?
Hi, Taco Bell. Yes, are you hiring today? Oh, great. I will be down there and fill out the application. Thank you. Challenge. Get a job. Do that challenge.
Hello everybody, it's me Salem and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling blessed. I hope you guys aren't feeling stressed like me, because last night my car in my gated community was broken into, used to commit a string of crimes, and returned back to me completely totaled. I understand things happen, life sucks sometimes, people are crappy, but once the officer told me that it was TikTok related and that it was a challenge, at first I didn't believe him, because first of all, what type of challenge is that? That's not even like a cool challenge. How is stealing someone's car, using it to commit crime, and then returning it busted a challenge? How about get a job challenge? How about go seek therapy challenge? I have been awake since 4 a.m. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys saw a video evidence on how these nematodes left my car. It's completely wrecked. Monday night, the very day that we came back from Vegas, my husband and I were just making dinner, whatever. We went to bed. We ended up sleeping in our living room because our apartment has been really, really hot. And the only place that was sort of cool to sleep in was the living room. So we slept there. Around 4 a.m. we heard this knock, and I kid you not, I just started screaming because I literally thought that someone was trying to break in and that I was gonna die. It was really embarrassing. It really spooked me because not only do we live in a gated community, which I purposely chose so I can be away from people don't get knocks at 4 a.m. unless it's bad news. So I don't know, maybe I had like some deep ingrained trauma response to that knock because I started yelling like a banshee, especially because it was a low voice telling me to open the door. The deep voice was like, "Do you guys own a Hyundai Sonata?" When I opened the door, the police officer looked really confused and like genuinely like scared. And he was like,
"I genuinely thought that you guys were being murdered because of how your wife was screaming. I was about to knock down the door."
I was literally so embarrassed. Again, I have no idea why I reacted so viscerally. And I felt even worse because now my husband and I looked sus as hell talking to this police officer and yelling beforehand. It also doesn't help that we've been watching a lot of Breaking Bad. So I was already like really paranoid. Either way, no coincidence because I ended up having to better call Saul because it turns out my car was stolen. The officer pulled us aside and was asking us when was the last time we used our car or when was the last time that we saw our car. At first I didn't think much of it because I thought it was going to be like a simple petty crime like breaking into our car, and this would be like the second time that my car would have gotten broken into inside this, again, gated community that's supposed to be safe but apparently isn't. But once we answered all of the officer's questions, he told us your car was stolen last night and used to break into gas stations, to crash into windows, to crash into a bunch of stuff, to rob these places, and they have returned your car, but it's completely totaled. I was just in shock, and the officer said, "I want you folks to know that you guys are not the only people that this has happened to. Hyundais and Kias are being targeted right now." And he said it's because of that TikTok challenge and these TikTok pages that dedicate themselves to showing people how to hotwire Hyundais and cars. And pulling up to the scene, there were like 3 other cop cars there, as well as an undercover cop car, and like 5 police officers, and of course our car. The windows had been broken into, the tires and the rims were completely changed, so they stole our original tires. They completely effed up the back of the car. The car was completely scratched, dented, all over the place. So it's been about 3 days since I filmed this video, so I'm just throwing in a voice note real quick in here because we ended up finding out how much the total damages ended up being. The total damages to the car ended up being $16,000, which is so I can't. It's so crazy. And we are currently carless, so that's fun. Definitely, I am feeling like this meme right now. I feel like a total bum, not gonna lie. So I did reach out to my management to get this video sponsored. I know it's kind of a weird video to get sponsored since the topic is a little taboo, but it's definitely gonna help me and my family and our situation. So no judgment zone here, y'all. I'm gonna try my absolute best to make this transition smooth. Recently, my husband and I have not been sleeping well because we're terrified in our apartments. So shout out to Blissy, which has helped us with sleep. I love their silk pillowcases so much. It's the best for your hair and skin. It reduces frizz, tangles. So when you wake up, you don't look all crazy. You look like you just had 10 hours of beauty sleep. There's a lot of dupes out there that claim to be satin, but they're not. But this is the real deal, folks. And it's washable and hypoallergenic, so it won't leave you with itching or dry skin or rashes like other pillowcases. It also makes an amazing gift, and giving the gift of good sleep will always be a good gift. My favorite part about it is that I don't have to flip the pillow to feel the cold side because it's on both either way. They have a ton of different prints and colors. They have over 1.5 million raving fans, and you could also be next. So try now risk-free for 60 nights at blissy.com/Salem and get an additional 30% off. That's BLISSY.com/Salem and use code Salem to get an additional 30% off. And you'll wake up feeling better than ever. Since I don't have a car anymore, I haven't been able to get groceries. So scrap all that because thankfully HelloFresh exists. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep, which is very convenient for us right now. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. My favorite word. With HelloFresh, you don't have to worry if you're as good as Gordon Ramsay, okay? HelloFresh has foolproof recipes that arrive pre-portioned and easy to prepare in just a few steps. You guys know I never work with brands that I haven't tried myself, so I really do genuinely enjoy HelloFresh. It's fast, it's easy, and honestly has been incredibly reliable for situations such as the one that I'm going through right now. So go to hellofresh.com/SalemTovar16 and use code SalemTovar16 to get 16 free meals plus free shipping. So that's go to hellofresh.com/SalemTovar16 and use code SalemTovar16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, let's get back to the video because there's a lot more I need to talk about. They also left like a bunch of Cheetos in the back. And when I post this on my story, of course, y'all asked me if I ate the Cheetos. No, I did not eat the Cheetos. I'm not eating crime Cheetos. I'm not eating bum Cheetos. If I eat Cheetos, it's because I bought those Cheetos with my hard-earned money. Imagine stealing a car just to steal Cheetos. It's giving broke.
Hey, are you like poor?
It's giving I never graduated high school. It's giving fatherless behavior. How about get a job challenge?
Hi, Taco Bell. Yes. Are you hiring today? Oh, great. I will be down there and fill out the application. Thank you. Challenge. Get a job. Do that challenge.
If you wanted a ride to go buy $2 chips, you could have just nicely knocked on my apartment door and let me drive you there. Give the kids a little trip to the store, you know? But the one thing that hit me the absolute hardest is they ended up stealing my Bible study. My Bible study was The Armor of God by one of my favorite female preachers of all time, which is Priscilla Schur. It had a lot of sentimental value, spiritual value. It was something that I was working on. It's so sad. Who knows, maybe they stole it for a reason because they definitely need Jesus. I'm currently trying to move out. Contrary to popular belief, I don't live in California. I don't live in LA. You'd think I would because I'm a YouTuber, you know, I'm an influencer. I'm supposed to have that luxurious glamour life. No, I don't go party on yachts, okay guys? I don't have influencer friends. The funnest thing that I do is going to the DMV and renewing my license. Like, I'm boring. So earlier I said that this was based off of a TikTok trend. And apparently this TikTok trend has been happening since last year, but got absolutely no traction and still hasn't got any traction. So I'm doing my due diligence as a good citizen who has a job and makes money and has a nice life and doesn't have to resort to crime, you know? And apparently it's these groups of teenagers who go around hot wiring Kias and Hyundais as a TikTok challenge. And they call themselves the Kia Boys. The Kia Boys. You guys couldn't think of like a cooler name? You guys might as well call your guys' selves the Weenie Hut Jr. gang. Like, Bye. People have figured out how to break into these cars and hotwire them and use them for crimes. But you can still type this stuff in, such as Hyundai, stolen, or Kia boys, or whatever. You can find TikToks of victims speaking out, saying like, this happened to me, or these dumb little kids saying that they want to join the group. And how can I join the group? You know what group you should join? A therapy group. This trend began in Milwaukee in 2021 and quickly began spreading across the Midwest. And the trend has now sparked increased car theft nationwide thanks to countless videos on TikTok and YouTube. And people have made it into a challenge. After these fetuses use your car, they drop it off wherever they want, totaled or not. According to recent reports, the trend is attracting young males within 11 to 17 years old. That is so sad. Like, I can't imagine being that age and being just so lost and being so demonically possessed, you know? I just can't. And this stuff has gone so big to the point where Kia and Hyundai have released statements. 10,471 vehicles were stolen in the country. And guess what? 67% were Kias and Hyundais. I am not a car person at all. I don't know the different breeds of car. There's too many to keep track of. If it has wheels and it gets me to the store and back, that's all that matters. So I didn't know that apparently Kia and Hyundai were being sued because of these thefts, for how easy it is to break into their cars. I believe it was Cleveland, Milwaukee, San Diego, Seattle, and Columbus, Ohio have already sued them, which is so crazy. If you own a Kia or Hyundai, I would really highly recommend speaking with whoever you bought it from, whether it was a dealership. Speak to your insurance company to see if you can get the upgraded alarm systems and anti-theft upgrades, as well look into getting your bag for that lawsuit. So yeah, hopefully that helps you guys a little bit. Definitely take it serious because you never know if you will be the next victim. I definitely did not ever think in a million years that something like this crazy would happen to me. So if I knew that Hyundais and Kias were being targeted, I would have made sure that I had all the upgrades and everything. But because this kind of went under the radar for such a long time, I had no idea, and it just really sucks that it could have been prevented. Y'all can say whatever you want, but you cannot deny the fact that the internet is slowly becoming a place that is extremely, extremely dangerous. And here's the thing, the internet has always been dangerous, but at one point, the internet was somewhat wholesome. Like, remember when like viral videos would only be like a cat playing piano? When people would make fan edits of like Sonic and Knuckles kissing, like what happened to that, you know? Obviously that stuff still exists on the current timeline of the internet. However, one cannot deny that the content exposure to young people is getting worse and worse. Content that is able to easily influence young people to do bad things is a lot more accessible, and you can run into it a lot easier nowadays. The most dangerous thing that I was doing on the internet as a kid was maybe downloading the Shrek movie onto my DSi. Like, that's probably the worst thing that I've done. But no, nowadays, like, because of just the normalization of filming everything and the desperation of wanting to get views and the normalization of influencer culture and outrageous YouTuber culture, such as people like Logan Paul, Jake Paul, people who purposely make these titles and thumbnails and content that cater to children, that are dangerous for children, that normalize dangerous behavior for clicks and views, inspire these kids to do dumb stuff. And when I say kids, this also goes for teenagers, even older teenagers. Their brains are not developed enough for them to understand that them participating and partaking in these types of activities can literally lead to lifelong endangerment. Obviously, bad groups, bad websites, and bad people have existed since the dawn of time, and that also includes the beginnings of the internet. I mean, let's talk about Kik and the fact that Omegle was a thing, and like 10-year-old me was on that. But the thing is, the difference between back then and now is that now there are so many influencers and YouTubers who purposely make content that's harmful to kids and promote like really weird pranks for the sake of getting views, knowing damn well that kids are gonna watch their channel. Now you can just run into horrible things all the time through TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all these other things, which, by the way, YouTube Shorts is definitely a whole nother beast, because when they first introduced it, I literally saw a goat get beheaded at 3 a.m. So yeah, that happened. Like I said, bad stuff has always existed since the dawn of time of the internet. And there's a lot of things back then that were just as bad and even worse that nowadays would not be tolerated on the internet. However, a big difference between back then and now is that back then it was a lot more open. Now, all this bad stuff is a lot more hidden. It's a lot more secret. People now find loopholes. People now find secret messaging ways to talk to kids, like people who make body checking content that are disguised as what I eat in a day. It is far more subtle nowadays, but it still exists. And I would say it's even worse. And the reason why it's worse is because when kids do run into this type of content, they don't even know that they're consuming that type of inappropriate content, because they will make it in a specific way to come across as normal when it's not normal content. It's become a lot more manipulative and hidden in plain sight. There is this very much needed conversation of talking about how children and teenagers are being groomed to commit crimes, are being groomed to be these no brain, no IQ idiots who don't want to pursue anything further in life other than social media because it's so glamorized. And the fact that there is no regulation still bothers the hell out of me. If you've seen the TikTok court case, then you know that the current chairman of TikTok has said that they do put mental health awarenesses, delete certain hashtags, censor certain TikToks and stuff to protect the people on the platform. However, it's so easy to get around these things. I remember a long time ago when I first started talking about TikTok, I talked about how easy it is to find ED content on TikTok. Even if they claim to censor those TikToks or they claim to delete those hashtags, you can still very much find them or easily run into them out of nowhere on your For You page. The same thing can go towards, again, kids who type random stuff on the search bar, and if they type it in wrong, they'll still be able to find it because people purposely spell things wrong that are inappropriate because they know that's going to get censored by the algorithm. So it's stuff like that I'm like, it's almost unavoidable, but it's still too easy to access, even on accident. And just watch, there's going to be more studies coming out later on in the future about how these kids are developing severe body dysmorphia, how it's giving kids unrealistic expectations as to how life should be. We already have little baby kid influencers being exploited by their parents. Same with YouTube, same with Instagram. Social media is so unregulated that it's honestly terrifying, and deleting a hashtag is not enough. People now feel comfortable filming strangers in public and posting it on TikTok for it to go viral. I have seen time and time again people filming autistic people or neurodivergent people having like panic attacks and stuff and making fun of them, or kids in school who like anime, and sure, maybe they act a little cringe, but it's still not okay to film them and post them on TikTok for them to go viral and to get made fun of. And I see it a lot, and I'm sick and tired of people pretending like, well, TikTok is actually a very beautiful place for small businesses and this and that. Yes, of course it is. But guess what? There's a lot more bad that no one's talking about because people so badly want to become influencers that they don't want any of these platforms to be regulated or taken away from them. By the way, stop trying to become influencers. Stop trying to become YouTubers. Our market is so oversaturated already. Here y'all go in the comments. If you want to be an influencer or a YouTuber, that's not me saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying think about it. Both my sisters and I have separate jobs and social media. We balance the two because the truth is right now the social media market is getting super oversaturated. Did you know there is a shortage of teachers? There is a shortage of veterinarians. Like there's a shortage of all types of workers everywhere, which obviously I understand why, because the pay is horrible, the hours are horrible, and the people they have to deal with is horrible. So a lot of people are turning to, having their own LLCs, their own small businesses and everything. I get it. However, with the more competitive that social media is going to become, there is a direct correlation with the oversaturation of the social media market and people becoming so desperate to become viral and to surpass everyone else within the social media market with views and downloads and clicks that they are starting to take desperate measures and do really bad things in order to get any sort of attention. And this is only going to rise, and this is only going to get worse. Trust me. Not only that, but the people who are also getting involved with trying to become viral right away and trying to be part of the social media market are getting younger and younger. I remember not too long ago, Penguins Zero was reacting to like this little kid social media influencer gang. It was like a group of like 11-year-old boys who would go around to fast food restaurants, make a mess, harass the workers. And it was so sad to see, because it's like, how did this happen? How did we start making kids feel like it's far more valuable to become a TikToker than a doctor? And the crazy thing is, a lot of these kids who are on social media don't really pick this up from their own brains, but their parents. Do you know how many parents exploit their children for views and clicks on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube? It's actually insane. They are actively teaching their kids from a young age to value social media more than privacy, to value social media and money and clicks more than their own aspirations and dreams. These parents are putting their kids in positions to fail and to grow up and have problems mentally. I'm not going to be surprised if in the future we start seeing lawsuits of YouTuber kids and TikTok kids who were exploited by their parents suing their parents for emotional distress. And I'm not exaggerating, because that's already happening, dude. Where did we go wrong with that? And why do we always end up surprised when we hear that young people's mental health is declining? There is a glamorization of the influencer life now, and the de-glamorization of being a normal human being, which there is nothing wrong with being a normal human being. I have a sister who is not only an influencer, but she's also a nurse. And when I tell you she finds so much more fulfillment in being a nurse than a TikToker, it's because being a normal human is actually a lot more fulfilling than you think. But a lot of people don't think that way anymore because of the de-glamorization of simply existing and the extreme glamorization of the lottery that is social media now, of getting rich and famous quick. Which unfortunately I've also mentioned in my past videos. For some reason, the YouTubers and influencers who purposely push crazy content always get super popular, always get the views, always get all the support. And it's because their audience is dumb little kids. And if you can cater to dumb little kids, oh, you've made it, you're fine. But this is also a message to the influencers and YouTubers and TikTokers who are participating in these trends or making content knowing damn well that your fan base is children. You have really deep soul searching to do. You need to examine your heart and change your behavior, because you inspiring these little kids can lead them to make really bad decisions in their life that can ruin their chances for scholarships, ruin their chances into getting into their dream college, ruining their chances to live a peaceful life, ruining their chances to grow as human beings. And the kids who are committing these crimes don't understand that. And here's the thing though, when it comes to teenagers committing crimes or acting out or being overly emotional or having outbursts, they truly do tend to get gaslighted, and a lot of people just make fun of them and they don't understand why they act out or do the things that they do. If you guys can remember back in your teenagehood, I'm sure that they weren't the best times. I know that middle school was like the worst time of my entire life. It was such big emotions for such a little body and such a little brain. And so whenever teenagers act out or do things that are bad, they are absolutely supposed to face consequences. I'm not defending that. However, I feel like there is so much emphasis on trying to get them to take accountability rather than trying to lead them to find resources that can counteract those feelings of wanting to do bad things or have outbursts as a cry for help. I have a degree in family counseling as well as being able to work with troubled youth. When I tell you guys that now more than ever, teenagers, preteens feel lonelier than ever, it's so real. And the last thing that they need is to be belittled, made fun of, or given outlets where they can strengthen their outbursts and anger. And social media is giving all these angry teens, these depressed preteens, these sad and lonely young people who are lost, the perfect outlet to hurt others. Young people don't have to traumatize themselves or traumatize other people around them in order to grow into better people. Self-realization and self-actualization is actually enough to make people do a complete 180 in their life. I'm sorry if your upbringing was traumatic, but that doesn't give you the right to traumatize other people. That's called repeating generational hurt. And in order to put a stop to it, we need to stop excusing this behavior and actually be aware of the red flags and behaviors in the people around us early enough to stop them before they become big enough to hurt other people around them. There is way too many niche groups that's starting to be really hard to keep track of. There's these new challenges showing up every 2 seconds, and each time these challenges are getting more and more vulgar, more and more dangerous, and it's escalating. It's crazy because there should be no reason why online you feel unsafe, because it's not like your real physical space, it's on a device. Yet all these dangerous things and these stupid challenges are starting to seep into the real world, and literally no one's doing anything about it because social media has never been taken seriously, even though it's so much more accessible to people who honestly shouldn't be on the internet. Why does your 10-year-old have an iPad? Hello? And like, I know some of y'all are gonna be like, you shouldn't judge. I am though. You know, YouTube Kids has so much content that is so crazily inappropriate for kids. Even kids apps aren't even safe. You know how many apps I have seen promoted on YouTube or TikTok that are just weird and that are aimed towards kids, and these blind parents don't understand that that is what it is, and they still let their kids play these games and stuff. It's crazy. People keep pretending like the internet still doesn't have power. Maybe some people are still stuck in this mindset that all the internet is cat videos. I know for a fact some people are gonna be like, well, I never see that stuff. Okay, good for you. It still exists. People have to understand that with every good thing, there comes bad things. And with every bad thing comes good things. Two things can be true at once, and this is definitely one of those situations. However, in certain categories, such as these challenges and these influencers and YouTubers who are promoting dangerous acts to children, and the fascination and obsession and the desperation to become famous quick and to get clicks and to get views and the desperation to go viral, the way we are all currently living our life in the US is not normal. And that's why everyone's so miserable. They're more moldable. They're more easily influenced. People are just built different now. They literally do not know how to be their own human without someone on social media telling them how to be or how to exist. It's sad. And because of just this emptiness that there is nowadays, a lot of these young kids are trying to fill it with just all this stuff that makes no sense. And I don't care, y'all can call me a boomer. If I'm a boomer, so be it. This is also a parent problem. There's a lot of factors in play here, but ultimately it lies on the shoulders of influencers, parents, and people who are older than these teenagers and kids who don't know any better. Parents, stop giving your 3-year-old an iPhone. Give them a Cricket phone that isn't touchscreen if you want to have emergency calls. Hello? Also, parents, stop saying things like, Cardi B's a bad influence on children. Okay, then don't let your kids listen to Cardi B. Since when did Nicki Minaj say, I'm here for the kids and kids only? No, she's never said that. Be aware as to who your kids are listening to and who your kids are watching. Even though I don't agree that these influencers and YouTubers do certain things that they do and that kids will still watch it and they don't keep that in mind, it's still not up to them to raise your kids. You need to set firm boundaries. Another thing, influencers, YouTubers out there, hi, hello. Even though it's not your job to raise these kids, you still have to be smart and understand that even though your content is not aimed for kids, kids are still gonna watch it. So be careful. Third thing is for you who's watching this. Stop relying on social media to tell you how to live, to tell you what to do, what challenge you gotta do. Oh, I gotta follow this person, or this song's popular, so I gotta listen to it. Be your own authentic individual person. Be genuine. Stop relying on randos on the internet to make up your personality. Stop being so easily influenced. Go outside, touch grass, experience real life and the joy and love and peace you can get from it, instead of constantly observing negativity 24/7 on your damn phones and TVs. And that goes for everyone of all ages. Because the more that you fill yourself up with positive things and things that are kind, things that are loving, things that are peaceful, things that are beautiful, you'll find that you'll exude that energy out into the universe and you'll receive the same thing. When you start working on yourself, not letting yourself be so influenced and to go according to all these sheeple, you'll find that you'll become a genuine person. And the more genuine that you are, you'll also find just as genuine people who genuinely love you and want the best for you and won't let you go around doing idiotic things like breaking into people's cars for a stupid challenge that's probably only gonna get like 1,000 views, literally in your flop era. Like, I can't. Be smart, be wise, really think about what you're putting out there, because it weighs heavy on the soul. It weighs heavy on the people around you. It weighs heavy on you. Even if you think what you're doing is enjoyable, if it's bad, it's still bad, no matter how much you try to glamorize it. All right, guys, honestly, that's it for today's video. I know that this video was very different compared to my other videos. I just needed to get that off of my chesticles and rant and honestly give some of y'all some tough love. And I just had to spit facts. I just had to. I really hope that my car situation can be solved and our new housing situation can be solved. I genuinely don't know what's gonna happen these next few days, weeks, months, who knows, but I just ask for positive vibes, encouragement to just have the motivation to keep going. You guys can follow me on my other social media accounts if you want. I have a TikTok. I also have an Instagram. They're all under Salem Tovar. You'll be able to find me. I hope you guys have a much better day than what I had. Remember, guys, that it costs nothing to be kind, but it costs everything to be a loser. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.